Hello folks, this is Robert again from your Sears Hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed or having a backache or if your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears Hometown store. So come on down to your Sears Hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, Rich Airport, not the world's famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see it.
First dates, fun with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Just Sports, and also welcome to your Hometown Sears studio. My name is Les Martin, along with our executive producer, Honeybee. I'm Brown. We certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day. Almost. Did you hear that? No. We certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to join us here on AM 1450 as well as 1450WLAF.com. Also, pretty soon, folks, we're going to be talking about 100.9.
That's right.
FM 100.9 is coming sometime in May, and I think it's middle May.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Me too.
Very excited. Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air?
Hey, Les,
Hey, what?
what about that new coach for Tennessee?
Well, I'm going to get to that. I don't know if anybody knows this, but he has suffered at the hands of the NCAA on recruiting infractions, and I bet you nobody knows that.
Well,
And we're going to go over that later on in the show. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but I think that I'm going to like the guy if he can keep his nose clean. I like his enthusiasm from where he's been in the past. Now, I don't know that much about him without doing a little bit of homework on him, but he hasn't had an issue with infractions, major infractions for the NCAA when he was at Morehead State. So we were so concerned about bringing Bruce Pearl back because of the NCAA infractions on the show cause penalty, and yet we go out and get someone that has almost the exact same type of infractions as Bruce Pearl did.
yeah.
Recruiting. So with that being said, I think he'll be a good coach for Tennessee. Hopefully, the players that we've got now will stay, and hopefully some other kids that he can recruit that he can get in, and maybe that he can build this Tennessee program into what we think it should be, and that is a 25 plus games win a season and an NCAA tournament.
So, all right, we'll see.
Thank you, buddy. Wow. How nice it is when you've got some information about the new coach. He didn't know what to say, bless his heart.
Well, I didn't either. You hit me with it too, you know. It was kind of blindsided there.
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Let me get through all these sponsors real quick, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this thing.
May not have a chance.
May not have a chance. Time to call Just Sports on the air. Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. We was not here Thursday, and I do apologize. It was my fault.
How are you guys?
Well, we had some prior obligations, and we just couldn't get here. And some of those obligations, although we really love doing this, sometimes those obligations, we have to take care of them so we can continue to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We wasn't at no autograph signing place either, so it wasn't about signing autographs, that's for sure. So how have you been?
I've been pretty good. I've been with my husband for a week.
Oh, yeah? So you're back now, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's fantastic. Are you getting to watch us on the tube?
Yeah.
Well, that's even better.
No, I can't watch you like this, but I listen to you on the radio.
Guess what's going to happen here in about 20-something, 30-something days?
What?
We are going to be on the FM side of the radio. We're going to be on 100.9 FM and in stereo. What do you think about that?
That's good then. I can listen to you guys.
Yeah, you bet. We would sound so good in stereo that it'd be almost like you was watching us, huh?
Oh, boy.
But anyway, that's going to happen sometime in May, and as the date gets closer, we'll throw that date out there. But right now, we've got it just a roundabout figure, and it's going to be sometime in middle of May. How's that? Yeah, middle of May. Yes, we sure did.
Yeah, did you tell me that town on yesterday?
Oh, yeah? Well, I guess you're glad you're back in town now, huh?
Yeah.
Well, alright, who's your favorite team?
Okay.
We'll talk to you Thursday.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
First and foremost, we gotta get to our sponsors, then we're gonna talk about a little bit about the NCAA approves the new rules to protect quarterbacks.
I didn't know this.
Yes, wait till you hear this. This is probably gonna make a defensive type guy like yourself, who loves scores 100-0, it's probably gonna make you cringe. We're also gonna talk about Russell Allen, which he thought he had a concussion last December when he played an NFL game, and I didn't know this just came out. He actually had a career-ending stroke. We'll talk about that briefly. Also, the reason why Michael White decided to not take the Tennessee job. Also, we're going to talk about Frank Haith, also Bruce Pearl. We're also going to talk about Donnie Tyndall, as well as we're going to break down the NFL roster, or the NFL draft of the top 32 players and where we might think they will go. Now, whether or not they get to that particular place, we don't know. Also, we'll tell you exactly what Blake Griffin thinks about medical marijuana.
And Blake Griffin is who?
He is a basketball player for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Ah, well, that's why I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, he's a basketball type guy. Went to Oklahoma. Very good basketball player, by the way. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our sponsors. First and foremost, we want to say thank you to Sears, your hometown Sears store, Food City, located in the Food City Shopping Center. Their phone number is 562-7700. Also, they have great things to choose from, lawn and garden, and it's that time. I've already mowed my yard, mowed my lawn. It's better when you say that.
Yeah, it sounds better, yeah.
It sounds like
It's still just grass, but.
hillbilly. You speak hillbilly quite often, every day.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, they have lawn and garden, they have lawn tractors, weed whackers, trimmers, gas trimmers, whatever you want to prefer to call it. Also, they have for the ladies and the men who cook, as well as the ladies who choose to do yard work. They've got lawn tractors for you too. Don't think they're in pink, but red and green just may work. Their phone number, once again, is 562-7700. Also, we want to say thank you to Charlie's Pizza, often imitated, never duplicated. For 38 long years, they've been doing pizza right. The phone number is for call-in orders is 562-0116. Or if you'd like to go in and sit down and just have a fantastic time, great family atmosphere from start to finish, Monday through Saturday. They've got more items on the menu besides pizza, so just don't get wrapped up in the fact of Charlie's Pizza and we're just going to have pizza. It's more than that.
Yep.
They've got hamburgers, hot dogs, chili. They have
The chicken breast.
yeah, great chicken breast, Philly cheesesteak, chicken Philly. They've got all kinds of different things. Anyway, folks, go down and see the folks at Charlie's Pizza. They're fantastic folks. Also, we want to say thank you to First Screen Printing, downtown La Follette. Their phone number is 562-3044. Also, you can talk to them much about any type of uniform that you may need, basketball, football, baseball, doesn't really matter. You know what? It's that time of year again.
Oh, yeah.
Political signs everywhere. You know what? Let Birch Screen Printing set you up a couple. The phone number is 562-3044. Thanks for calling Just Sports. You're on the air.
Hey, fellas, it's Big Girl from Jacksonville. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, big girl.
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, as always. It's always great to be Big Girl. And it looks like we've got us a basketball coach.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And I just want to say that you know, Brent, I was a little worried because we almost had to give the other cohort over there some credit for choosing our next basketball coach.
Yeah, he was right on it. He was talking about that before the show.
He was on top of it. I'm going to give him partial credit because obviously that's who we wanted to go get. He called it.
Yep.
But I'm also going to say this. I'm going to blame him because he called it. The guy didn't want to come.
Ah, I didn't look at it from that point of view.
It's very possible.
It's all his fault. It's all his fault.
Well, how bad is that, do you think? I mean, how big of a deal is it? Do you think we've got a good coach in what's his name, Kendall?
Yep, Toddy Kendall.
I tell you what, fellas, it's going to be like every other coach retired in just about every sport. It has been for years.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what your pedigree is, what your past record has been. Who knows until 3 years from now whether it was a good hire or not. I mean, you can say, Gonzo was average, Pearl was good, Doobie was bad, and I said the same thing about Butch Jones. I know I liked everything he's done so far,
Right.
but if he had 10, 5, and 7 seasons, he ain't nobody gonna like him no more.
You're right.
I agree.
So we'll see what happens. But hey, let me ask you something. Did y'all expand to a 3-hour show?
Did we all what?
Did y'all expand to a 3-hour show?
No,
Well, I heard y'all's topics. How many topics do y'all gonna discuss tonight? I figured Big Earl's got a call, and he's gonna get a chance to talk at all.
Well, I try to get us an agenda, and at times we don't get to the agenda, but we try our best to cover all those that I talk about, and sometimes we fail to do so.
Well, I tell you what, you got an aggressive agenda tonight, fellas. I think that covered everything that
I skate.
you got everything but Kimball jockey racing over in the Middle East somewhere. I don't think y'all have that on the agenda.
No.
Anything else? You got everything else. Hey, so like I tell you, I have to admit, though, I saw most of his press conference today. I thought Donnie did a pretty good job. You don't judge much about the press conferences. Now, one thing I like better than anything else is he first always said, which was a open eye of Andy and Memphis. We got the best program in the state, and I thought that was funny. Anytime you want to poke those two guys in the eye, I'm all for you. So I'm assuming he's had to play the same conference with Memphis, so he's going to bring that all Memphis hate with him like we all got. So that's good by me.
Yeah.
And of course, Andy, and like I said, he has the Andy things anyway. So
Exactly.
that'll be a natural there. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think he did a good job. He said all the right things. I thought some of the questions were silly, but most of them are sometimes. Asking why do they think Conzo left? What's he going to say when somebody asks him why he thinks the last coach left?
Yeah.
What kind of question is that? Is that a real journalist asking a question like that? That didn't make no sense at all.
Doesn't sound
So
like it.
what's he going to say? He said, well, he's hey, I think why he left, but he heard me coming. That's why he left. How's that say? Something like that. That'd be pretty funny. That'd
Yeah.
be good. That'd be pretty good. Hey, so y'all know y'all got a big agenda tonight. I'm not going to keep y'all, but Carmack the Group has got a great one tonight.
You got the answer?
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay, the answer is number 1, Johnny Majors, and number 2, C number 1.
Number 2, what? C number
Number
1?
2 is, the list is Johnny Majors, number 1, and number 2 is C number 1.
Gotcha.
There's only one man on the list.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Name, this is not funny for us, this is a fact.
Okay.
In the history of Tennessee, the big name coaches that Tennessee has ever gone after a guy.
Bob Nealon?
No, Newman was a big name guy when the guy. That was back in 29. They were looking for guys that had a coach back in those days.
I I don't know if we went and got anybody big name coaches.
Did you just say, did I hear you right?
Yeah?
Are you saying Johnny Majors was a nobody?
No, I'm
Johnny
talking
Majors
about,
had won a national championship.
I'm talking about besides Johnny Majors.
Okay, somebody besides that.
Then you agree.
That's not number two, you have to look at number one, because there was only one man on the list. And of course, if there's any list on the planet, there's always only one name on it, Johnny Majors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, fellas, I gotta run. They're gonna drop the knowledge, they're gonna go attack, and he's gone.
See you, buddies. Man, that guy is just something else, isn't he?
Got the energy, that's for sure.
Yeah, he does. I like to have what he's drinking, whatever that is. All right, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Before I've got to say one more sponsor, and that's, of course, All-Star Awards on 720 Jacksonville Pike. They make the Offensive Defensive Player of the Week award winners possible for us to give those plaques to those young men. And their phone number is 562-6761. Go down and talk to Mr. David for all your trophies and all your plaque needs that you may have. He's right there across from the Sonic, right there in the A-frame building.
Can't miss it.
All right, well, we got some news here. Softball?
My goodness, yes.
Softball, we got some news.
The Lady Cougars have broken their losing streak.
And the losing streak was what? Because this is celebration time.
It is, and I don't have the exact number. I don't want to offend the Lady Cougars or the coaching
You pick low.
staff. Well, it was in the 50s. They'd been on a losing skid of in the 50s. I don't know if it was 52 or 58. But it was a lot. It was all of last year and all this year up until this point, and they got a big win over Jellicoe the other night, and it was nice to see.
And I would assume that we lost to Anderson County tonight.
They did, and the score of 10-0 may sound like a runaway, but it really wasn't. I mean, they had a lot of home runs. AC did, and you know, we've got a freshman pitcher who's done a great job. But you know, she's going to have to get a little faster, a little more speed, and a lot of these other teams are used to a little more powerful pitching, and so some of them teed off on her, and that's to be expected. And pretty good game though. 10-0 is not as bad as it sounds. So they're moving in the right direction.
It was a better game this time against Anderson County than it was the first time.
Absolutely.
So there is improvement.
The last time was 16-0, and it was cut short. You know, in the third inning of it.
Well, look on the bright side. The softball ladies are getting better, and that's exactly what you want to do. Is you want to see improvement from the start of the season to the end of the season. I don't know how many more games they've got left, but folks, if you'd like to join us, you can join us at 566-1450 or 562-3557, or you can join us at Just Sports Brent Less on Facebook. If you're not a friend, go ahead and send a request. We will be more than happy to accept it. Send your comments, questions, whatever it may be. If you feel like correcting us, throw us back down on us.
That's right. If it was 56 instead of 52 or whatever, let me know. I'm open for adjustment.
Yeah, we have to be.
That's right.
Also, the Campbell County Cougar baseball team being at Fulton Monday evening. Senior Jacob Monday picked up the win while Tate McGee's recorded the save. Also, the Cougars won by a final of 4-3, and that just came off the heels of a Friday night's blowout. They beat Fulton 9-0 at Brown Archer, and also Mr. Joseph Williams hit 2 home runs in the same inning.
Same inning?
Same inning, Friday night against Fulton.
They score all 9 in one inning?
That I don't know. But it just says it was a day on the diamond that will forever be etched in the memory bank of Cougar senior Joseph Williams. Joseph Williams hit not one, but 2 home runs in the same inning over the left field fence as Campbell County High School blanked Fulton Friday evening at Brown Archer Field.
Anyway,
So that's pretty sweet.
that's a memory, yeah.
It absolutely is a memory. Also, the playing tonight against Union County and Manorville, first pitch was at 6 o'clock. We don't have any information as far as who won that game yet, so hopefully we may be able to get that before the show's out. We can't promise you, but we'll try our best to get it. Also, let's talk a little bit about the NFL draft real quick.
Okay.
I believe this with all my heart, that the Texans need a quarterback in the worst way. But can they afford to pass up on Clowney to get a quarterback? He's supposed to be the number one pick overall in this 2014 draft, which is going to be May 8th through the 10th. Do you think that's even possible that you skip on Clowney to go take a quarterback like Johnny Manziel?
I do. I mean, if I'm in that situation, watching Clowney, we all watched him as he took games off, took plays off. And yeah, maybe some people may say he's trying to save his body. I understand that, but if that's his mentality, then I don't want him playing for me. Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, no doubt he is a great player, but I think that you have to look at the needs of the team. And of course, you can use him as a bargaining chip, later if you did want to go that route. But I think that you're better off going ahead and getting a quarterback.
Khalil Mack is rated number 3 overall. I look for Khalil Mack to go number 2, just to be perfectly honest with you, if not number 1.
Yeah, I'd say 1.
He is an impressive linebacker. He played for Buffalo. The reason why you didn't hear a whole lot about Khalil Mack was simply because he didn't play for an Alabama or a Tennessee or a Pittsburgh or Ohio State. He played for a little bitty team. I know it's Division I. I get all that, but they're not a powerhouse.
Exactly.
But his pro days was fantastic. So I look for him to go number 1. This number 1 and number 2. And if the Texans pick Clowney to go number 1, I can't see how that's possible, because somebody had said, one of the general managers of the football team, I don't have a name because they didn't release it, said that he was lazy.
Well, that goes right along with what I was saying. I think he is. I think he goes hard when he wants to, and yeah, that can run an entire team. Yeah, and the old adage of one apple spoiling the whole barrel, or bushel barrel. It's kind of the same way. I think somebody like that can be a cancer to the team and really drag them down.
Right, I agree. The first quarterback going in the draft looks like it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of number 9. And that's Blake Bortles from the University of Central Florida. He's rated higher than Teddy Bridgewater and Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel and Teddy Bridgewater, they'll be going somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 and 16. That's according to the draft gurus at ESPN.com. Is that about right, do you think, for Manziel and Teddy Bridgewater?
I really don't have an intelligent answer, to be honest with you, because I've really not paid much attention to the quarterbacks. I don't think it's a great quarterback year. I just don't think there's a lot. I don't think Manziel's all that. I think he was great in the college role. Did a great job for what he has. He used all the tools around him. But in my opinion, just looking at these guys that are listed, I'll tell you who I like a lot is Sammy Watkins. Not in the quarterback role, of course, but just if I had to choose one player, a difference maker, Sammy Watkins is an absolute beast.
He is one of those young men that can certainly make a difference on the football field for sure. You want a playmaker? Go get Sammy Watkins.
I agree.
But 100%, I agree with that as well. Also, we talked about earlier about Russell Allen having a stroke back in mid-December when he played against the Buffalo Bills. They lost that game, of course, 27-29, though this has been long ago, but this just came out on April the 22nd, which is today, that he had a stroke sometime during the first half, and went back in, thought it was a concussion, had blurred vision, was seeing double, went back in, finished the game off, and then went and seen the doctors. Now, after seeing the doctors, they called him back to the emergency room and so on and so forth, and now he's ended up having a career-ending stroke. And here's what's so weird about this whole thing. According to the information from the doctors Allen consulted, none of those doctors could find an incident in which a professional football player suffered this kind of stroke, which has occurred in small percentages of high-speed motor vehicle accidents.
Wow.
So I think that's...
So basically, the hit caused the stroke is what they're saying.
Well, that's what it sounds like to me. Now, they couldn't even, I haven't read that for sure, but it certainly sounds like it. But it's one of those situations to where it's, man, what do you do? You're talking about concussions and guarding against concussions, and they've changed so many different rules for the quarterbacks in the National Football League, as well as the wide receivers, and no head-to-head contact, no hitting of the defenseless receiver. Russell Allen said that one time it was just a normal tackle, what he thought was just a normal hit, and he got up, said he didn't lose consciousness, he walked back to the huddle, and he came out for a few plays, went back in, finished the game, didn't have a clue that it was a career-ending stroke. Wow. So scary. It is very scary. So with that being said, is this something else that the National Football League has to look into? And if so, what could they do to prevent anything like this? I mean, it's the way it happened, it just, where the oxygen carries the arteries carry the oxygen back to the brain, it had just a small tear in it. So, and that's what caused the stroke.
Wow.
So, I don't know how that is or anything else. Also, Blake Griffin, I told you about Blake Griffin talking about the medical marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
He is all for it.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm surprised the entire NBA is not all for it.
Well, sure, or the NFL. I mean, you've got, I'll tell you somebody who pitchers, that I picture that smokes weed, Richard Sherman of the Seattle Seahawks.
He has the look, and that's stereotyping, you know. But
I know.
He certainly doesn't shy away from it. And, you know, look at Ricky Waters. Is that what I'm thinking of? Ricky Waters played for Miami.
Yes.
I always had the dreads. I mean, the guy was a free thinker, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was always smoking that stuff. So there's a lot of guys out there, I think, that would be happy with something like that. But
well, it's one of those situations, it's like this. There's more and more states that's making this medical marijuana legal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he said he's done enough homework to realize exactly what this marijuana, the good side of the good benefits, far outweigh the bad.
so by homework, you mean he's smoked enough of it to know
Well,
how?
he said that he's got the information on it. I would think that he would be somebody that dabbles in it. You know what I mean? That smokes it recreationally. Is there such a
I
thing?
think that's the only way to use it, to be honest. Well, I mean, with the exception of the medicinal side.
Right, exactly. He just said it doesn't really affect him, but so many guys would probably benefit it and not take as many painkillers, which have worse long-term effects. Griffin said in an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, so I would vote yes. I just think it makes sense. We know that you don't ever hear about the marijuana because it's illegal. You don't hear about the stats of how many people smoke it, or how many people lose their home, or how many people lose this, lose their families, whatever. You don't hear about it because it's kind of a hush-hush. Unlike painkillers,
I think there's a big difference. I mean, obviously,
Sure.
painkillers are much more addictive, and you know, it's not the same. It's like comparing apples and oranges, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not condoning either.
Right,
I'm
I
saying of the
understand.
two, I would have to agree with the player Griffin that you know, if it was a choice of the two, if it had to be one of the two, I think that the medicinal marijuana would probably be less addictive, less dangerous, less likely to become something that you lose your home over, or you lose your family, or
Right.
you rob somebody. You know,
You don't hear
it's a
about
different,
that with
right, it's a
marijuana,
different kind of, yeah.
Seattle Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said in January that the NFL should look into medical marijuana as a means of taking the best possible care of its players. Wow, imagine that. Here you go, Richard Sherman. You took a tough hit there. Take a tough hit off this. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're gonna step away for a short commercial break. You're listening to Just Sports, or you're watching Just Sports.
At WLEF Sports Network.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming into your Sears Hometown store for all your lawn and garden needs. And remember, we have appliances. Be sure to come in and buy a washer so you don't get laundry up to your eyeballs.
Hi folks, I'm Gary at Sears. For every box of detergent that's sold, Robert said he would give me a raise, so please come by and buy some. Thank you.
See Robert, Gary, and the entire crew at your hometown Sears store, Food City Center, Whitson Mall of Follett.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this Joe Horton out the world's famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see it.
First dates, fun with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
I gotta get off here, I'm going live, bye. Are we live? Oh, we're live. Was I on the phone the whole time?
No,
It's live?
no.
Okay, welcome back to the Tuesday night edition of Just Sports. My name is Les Martin, along with Brent Allen, also our executive producer, Honeybee. We're going to talk about the NCAA approves new rule to protect quarterbacks against hits below the knee.
Yeah, tell me about this. I've not heard anything about it.
The NCAA approved the new rule Wednesday to increase protection for quarterbacks from the hits below the knee. The rule, and I'll read out loud, courtesy of USA Today. The rule which the Playing Rules Oversight Panel discussed in a conference call is specific. The quarterback must be in a passing posture with one or both feet on the ground. Defenders cannot hit the quarterback forcibly at or below the knee, nor can it initiate a roll or lunge or forcibly hit the quarterback in the knee area or below. Violations will be led to a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty. The rule would be in effect for the 2014 season. Now, here's the exceptions. When the runner, or when the passer becomes a runner, inside or outside the tackle. I like that right there. Take the Just Sports, you on there? Hello?
Oh, all right.
Well, wait a minute, I get this thing on me.
Okay.
I want to say, honey, you can see finally got him a coach.
Yes.
He's been teaching the same laws until Wiles. He's a Kendall,
Donnie Kendall.
Donnie.
Yep.
Now you see what he does.
You think this is gonna make a big
I'm
difference?
going to rise to the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're kids don't have to work in the same district, you know.
Right.
We don't live in California.
I agree with that too.
You say take care and I love you.
All right.
Bye, and
Bye-bye.
Bye.
But, what do you think about that?
What?
What she was just saying?
About Donnie Kendall?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're gonna get to him in a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna get to him in a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish reading the exceptions. The exceptions is
So when the quarterback becomes a runner, no,
Inside
pull the
or
ball down and go.
inside or outside the tackle.
Okay.
Now, here's my question. If he pulls the ball down, take off running and stops and pulls the ball back,
Yeah.
I can see this blowing up in front of everybody's face. When the defender grabs or wraps the quarterback in an attempt to make a conventional tackle, that's when the exceptions are. When the defender is not rushing unabated or is blocked or pushed into the passer. And the proposal was discussed during the football rules committees in February, but no action was taken. But now, all the TNFBS conferences have expressed support, so now that is in play, will be taken care of in 2014.
I don't really see much of a difference. I mean,
They didn't call it roughing the passer last year when, if you remember when we broke the quarterback's leg in Florida, when Florida came to UT and Tennessee broke his leg, it was a low sack that broke his leg.
yeah, but and that's something I guess we'll have to wait and see. If it's a judgment call, if you've got a defensive end or whoever,
Right.
and they're trying to fight off an offensive lineman, and basically just come free and dive at the quarterback, and I don't know. I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of problems. We're going to see a lot of games be changed in a bad way.
That's very possible. A lot of games that Tennessee or somebody else, your favorite team, could be winning, and get a slip of the whistle and hit somebody hit the quarterback below the knees, give them a first down, puts them in field goal range, kicks field goal, last second field goal, their team loses. So I can see it happening.
Me too, and I'll tell you, the other thing that bothers me is, it's, first off, it's football, and injuries are gonna happen, nobody wants it to, of course. But secondly, what about all the other players who, a lineman, if you get tangled up and it's accidental, look at the guy from San Francisco, the linebacker that recovered the ball and broke his leg.
Yes.
Well, actually, I guess it didn't break, it was torn ligaments, but still, these things happen, but there's no penalty for it, and I don't think I care too
Wasn't that
much.
Alvin Smith?
I think you're right.
That's all.
At any rate, I don't know, personally, I don't think I care for it at this point. I think it's just something else to cause trouble, something else to, you shouldn't be going for somebody's leg like that anyway.
Right.
It's just dirty football. If you're trying to tackle them, but you shouldn't be trying to actually hit their knee or try to take out their leg,
Yeah, I think that they have got so many different rules in place now at the NCAA level and even in the NFL that you've almost pretty much forced the hands tied of these players and have told them to go out there and perform. And sometimes I think, Brent, when you've got their hands tied, you tell them to go out there and perform and make tackles, I think there's more injuries that could possibly happen because how do you prevent injuries in football? You go wide open, you go all out. You go high speed, you're gonna get hurt. How many times have you heard that?
Oh, that's true, yeah, I agree.
So
I think it's equivalent to red light cameras, and I think they're kind of the same way, people are so afraid they're gonna get a ticket, they slam on the brakes and they get hit from behind and their light hadn't even changed yet. So it's kind of the same idea, you've really gotta look at, you can't over legislate, you can't overdo it, it's just too much.
That was a good example.
You like that?
That was awesome.
We're on fire now.
Absolutely on fire. Here, you took a tough hit out there. Take another hit. That's something else.
Yeah.
I can see it now. Anyway, let's talk about Michael White. I almost got this right.
You did.
I said Michael White was going to be the Tennessee, or watch out for Michael White from Louisiana Tech. Big Girl didn't like that at all. No to hiring somebody else from Louisiana Tech. Michael White, I think, was the guy for this job, although he ultimately turned the Tennessee job down. Tennessee could have paid him more than double his $600,000 a year salary. What will make in 2015, and will have provided better facilities and return to the Southeastern Conference, a place White both played and coached with Ole Miss. He ultimately wasn't quite ready to lead the program he has helped build. White goes on to say, we really like Ruston. White told the News Star on April 3rd after agreeing to the extension, my wife and I enjoy the people in Ruston and opportunities to continue to be part of this wonderful institution. I'm thinking Tennessee didn't want to pay him enough money to get away from Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, first off, have you ever been to Ruston?
There's nothing there.
No. You can't love it in Ruston. People that are from Ruston don't like Ruston.
Yeah.
I don't get that. That was a cop-out. But number two, their Dublin is paid.
Right.
But when you're only Dublin, you're only going 1.2, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. Is that what it was? They actually offered him 1.2?
Yes.
I can see where it could be a problem, simply because I think that's what Conzo was making. Is that correct?
Conzo was making 1.3.
Okay, so you're gonna pay a new guy less than the guy that's leaving.
Right.
I can see where it might cause me a little reason to step back and think about it. Don't get me wrong, though. If I'm that guy, I'm wearing orange right now. I can't imagine not doubling your pay and staying in Ruston and still come to Knoxville.
Could you imagine knowing what Conzo Martin and his family went through to come to Knoxville? Do you think that would have anything to do with the fact of the reason why Michael White was only 37 years old? He has built a great program at Louisiana Tech, but I would have to think that something about the way these fans, we've got the toughest fans in the Southeastern Conference. I really believe that.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a good thing.
It's not.
I agree, it could certainly, if this guy's looking at okay, I can stay here and go under the radar and build a program and have a really good resume when I'm ready to move. Or I can go to Tennessee, and if I stink it up, it could end my career, because they're gonna start signing petitions on me, and they're gonna start, whatever.
Exactly.
So, I can see where that would be a definite problem.
Well, look at it this way as well. Peyton Manning went to Alabama, talked to Nick Saban, and then had to come out, and I would hate, I hate the fact, or dislike, I don't hate, but I dislike the fact that we as fans put so much pressure on the kids that play here, even after they're gone and grown into young men and older men such as Peyton, and still make them feel like that they are responsible to come back to this university, and then when they go someplace else like Alabama and talk to Nick Saban, all of a sudden there's some ball fans that gets a little upset, so Peyton's got to come back on. Did you see Peyton's interview?
I did not. I didn't know that there was any issue. I knew about him going to Alabama, but I didn't know that he had to justify it.
Well, exactly. He had an interview that he come out and said, you know what, I've been to some universities once since I've been playing NFL. I go back and have been back to Tennessee for 17 years. So my loyalty is not in question. But I mean, how does that make him feel, knowing that he went and played 4 years here at the University of Tennessee, has went on and has been a very successful NFL quarterback, and then we question his character and his loyalty because he goes to Alabama and talks to Nick Saban?
Yeah, that's just business. It's business.
Exactly.
He can't come back and play for Tennessee.
Right.
So what difference does it make? Let the man be. Well, that's crazy that people were questioning him like that.
Yeah, I've seen that interview from Peyton, and when he said that he's went back to Tennessee for 17 straight years. Loyalty should never be in question, and I agree with that 100%. Also, Frank Haith, why do you leave the Southeastern Conference and go take a Tulsa job? Frank Haith, of the college basketball coach for the Missouri Tigers, leaves University of Missouri, which is a Southeastern Conference school, has more television exposure, has more money, and you leave and go to Tulane. Or Tulsa, I'm sorry, you leave and go to Tulsa.
I'll tell you what it is.
He's scared.
We're about to find something out. There's something about to come out about him. It'll just be a matter of time. That's just my opinion. There's no rational reason that you could possibly do that.
I wouldn't think so either.
He must be in trouble, or he's about to be in trouble, and he's just trying to outkick the coverage, as they say.
Yeah, in Miami, he was a coach at Miami, and then he went to Missouri. He has led the Tigers to the NCAA tournament 2 of their 3 seasons. He was 76-28 record at Missouri.
Wow.
Pretty impressive coach. But he goes from Miami, goes to Missouri, he gets in trouble over that whole ordeal at Miami, so he had to sit out like 5 games when he was at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So he's same type of situation Bruce Pearl's in. They didn't give him a show cause penalty. He can still coach, which I thought was pretty lame.
Yeah.
But now he's going to Tulsa.
There's one thing that came up a minute ago. We were talking about Michael White not wanting to come here. We were talking about it. One of the things that I really like about the current coach, Kendall, I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah.
I think it shows character when they're not afraid to step up and take that chance. That tells you what kind of a competitor they are.
Yeah. Type of college of sports on here.
If you want to live for that league, floods, currents, and storms, hits, and the life is over, you might be in Tennessee.
Well, he was there for 3 years. I mean, I don't know why you leave a Southeastern Conference team.
Turn up everything. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see who Ty Bell and whatever
Yeah.
recruits. He's
Yeah.
got 4 scholarships recruits, he said, ready to live.
Well, he's only got 2 positions.
He's very coach to Tony Nick.
Okay. But I know he's got 4 recruits coming in at Southern Mississippi, but he's only got 2 places. Right now, he only has 2 spots available at the University of Tennessee.
I heard you say on the news conference you had 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know where he's got them at.
He's got 4 recruits with 4 pick, he said.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, I'm anxious to see who he picked.
I agree.
I am too.
He's been picked down enough.
That's the truth.
And checked it out, too.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I agree.
So take care.
All righty,
Bye.
bye-bye. Also, Auburn and Bruce Pearl will not appeal, they will not ask the NCAA to lift the show cause penalty. Pearl is barred from recruiting by the NCAA until August of 24th. Punishment stemming, of course, from when he lied to investigators from the University, from the NCAA when he was at the University of Tennessee. Now, let's get to Donnie Tyndall. Here's the information I've got on Donnie Tyndall. I don't have a whole lot, but what I do have is bad. And that's what I searched out to find. I typed into Google, Donnie Tyndall, or did Donnie Tyndall get in trouble with NCAA infractions? And this is what came up.
You put all that in the Google bar?
I did.
Wow.
I did, and it brought it right up. And it come off from GoVols 20, what is it, GoVols 24th?
24/7, yeah.
GoVols 24/7, this is where it came from. So thank you, GoVols 24/7. We certainly appreciate the information. The Tennessee men's basketball coach, Donnie Tyndall, I'm going to read some of it. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read some of it. Was the head coach at Morehead State when the school admitted to major NCAA infractions in the case involving a New Jersey booster. Athletic Director Dave Hart said in the NCAA case at Morehead was thoroughly vetted. We looked into that very thoroughly. We were absolutely satisfied moving forward, Hart said. Now, this is what I don't understand. Everybody was so concerned about Bruce Pearl coming back to the University of Tennessee. And I know Bruce Pearl's not here, and I'm not one of those guys saying, doggone it, we should have got him. But everybody said, including the local media, said that we will not hire another coach, or we will not hire Bruce Pearl because of his baggage. What's the difference in this baggage right here? And I haven't gotten to what he done yet. It was major NCAA infractions. What's the difference, Brent? Is there any there?
Well, I think that Bruce Pearl was used as an example, first off, but the difference is probably the fact that Bruce Pearl lied. It's one thing to commit the violation, and a lot of these coaches have had violations. It's so tough not to violate any of these rules that it's really common. The question is, did he lie about it like Bruce Pearl did?
Well, according to this information, no, he did not. Right here, in the Morehead case, the NCAA issued a summary disposition which indicates that both investigators and the school subsequently agreed on the facts of the case. There was not a formal hearing before the NCAA Infractions Committee. The NCAA Infractions report that Tyndall and members of his staff knew about and at times directed or encouraged the impermissible recruiting activities of a New Jersey booster. So they knew it was wrong, but yet they encouraged it. Also, the booster, who was not named in the report, represented himself as a scout for the Morehead State. He was involved in the recruitment of numerous men's basketball prospective student athletes, arranged workouts, assisted in arrangements of official and unofficial visits, and offered improper recruitment inducements to prospective student athletes according to the NCAA.
That just sounds like a good booster.
Well,
Wouldn't everybody like to have a booster like that?
he was 63-45 at Morehead State. Coach Donnie Tyndall was. Has a pretty good record as far as the way he's coached. I'm going to see if he has overall record of 200 wins, 106 losses. He has a 65% winning percentage. He's coached at all these universities. Iowa Central, he was an assistant. St. Catherine, LSU as an assistant, Idaho as an associate head coach, Middle Tennessee as an associate head coach, Morehead State as a coach, Southern Miss as a head coach, and now, of course, the head coach of the Tennessee basketball program. His salary is $1.6 million a year. Now, also for the first 3 years, it's a 6-year deal. That seems like an awful long time, doesn't it?
That's a long deal.
A 6-year,
Which depends on the buyout, it really doesn't make any difference how long the deal is, depending on how much the buyout is.
$3 million first 3 years. Thank you, College of Sports, you on the show?
Hey, fellas, it's been over Rexville again. Hey, I heard y'all talking about Tyndall and his NCAA violations.
Yeah.
And my understanding, and he even addressed that at a press conference today, that he said today that him and the coaching staff were completely viewed as not having anything to do with this, and it was all this little booster who did this stuff on his own. And as because he did this stuff, he was considered a coach. That the university and the coaches and him and Donnie, as far as they all cooperated with the investigators, and it never went to the infractions committee. So it sounded like at the end of the day, it wasn't a major thing.
Well, it's one of those situations to where the NCAA infractions report stated that Tyndall and his members of his staff knew about and at times directed or encouraged.
That's what he said today. So maybe he didn't lie to the NCAA investigators. Maybe he lied today to Chris on it.
Maybe.
Somebody's lying.
Yeah, maybe. But
You're right. Somebody ain't telling the truth there, fellas.
yeah, and another thing too, he said that Tyndall said that he had learned from that situation and that it wasn't going to happen again. Now, we're going to find out, like you said earlier when you called Big Earl, we're going to find out exactly what kind of coach he is 3 years from now. He's got a 6-year deal. It's $1.6 million a year. So, you know what? I think I'm going to like his enthusiasm. It's going to be, like Brent said before we went on the show, we've got a lighter skin colored Bruce Pearl.
Well, I guess that's better than a lighter skin color Condu Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm curious, nobody has told me, I haven't looked into it, what style of play is he known for? Is he a fast-paced guy? Is he
He's a pressure defense guy. He presses on late basket. They play a matchup zone. They say it's all over. He says that it's hard for teams to recognize it. Dave Hart said today on the radio, I heard him being interviewed, and he said that they were talking about how the fact that other coaches were basically saying his defenses are extremely hard to go up against because his team just doesn't see this kind of defense. It's not like a Syracuse. They called it like, he said it's more like a winnable defense. And their offense, he described it as a lot of high-low ball screens, guard. It's a big guard-heavy offense. So not a lot of that.
Yeah.
And he said that their offense is built a lot like Kansas's offense.
Wow.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear.
So I think that's pretty good, fellas. I mean, I felt better about it after hearing that, especially the pressure side. It says it sounds like they try to play real tough. They play high energy and real tough. I think that's gonna sit pretty well with Tennessee fans. They do very well in the country as far as stealing the ball. They've been in the top like 15 or 20 in steals. So they do a lot of pushing the ball. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of full-court pressing, a lot like Florida too.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if we're not going to, without playing the heavy man-to-man, how that works long-term against the zone. You don't see a lot of zone played in the SEC. You see mostly man-to-man stuff. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. And that may be good, fellas, because that may be a hard thing for other teams to get used to if they don't see these kind of defenses very often.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that excitement of the pressure and after a made basket and the heavy pressure that he's going to have, also the dribble drive and the picks that they're going to set, I think it's going to bring some excitement. Even if we lose, it's still going to bring some excitement to Tennessee basketball, which we haven't seen in 3 years.
Well, we saw it for a half a season.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, saw it for one half of the season. I think hopefully that it'll bring the recruits in. And by the way, on the recruiting side, we've got Clemson has 4 commitments that are still commitments as far as of today.
Right.
Denver fought the 3 of them, and there's 2 open spots. So there are 4 that are coming in plus 2 open spots. I'm not so sure fellas you sign those 2. You might want to hold off on those and use them for next year. I don't know how that works as far as your number of the players or something. I know,
Right.
I mean, you can do that sometimes in football. It might not be smart to do it in basketball, but I hate to see him sign 2 just to sign 2 people. Cleveland did that his first year, signed a couple of guys that couldn't even play in Division I. And I thought that hurt him. I'd rather see him hold them and use them next year maybe. I don't know. I don't know. You got to worry about the number of bodies. It's not football. You don't have a whole bunch of people. So, I don't know.
I agree with you, though. I think if you hold those 2 spots open for next year, you take what you've got plus the 4 that's coming in, and gives you 2 more scholarships you can use next year, and then that gives you a time to showcase what you can do as far as a head coach. Your value as a recruiter may increase.
Yeah, but it can backfire as well. You have a couple of injuries and a suspension or 2, and suddenly you're in trouble with numbers.
Or somebody quits because you're too tough of a coach.
Exactly. It will happen.
You know what? You never know. You never know. We may have some guys transfer before it's all said and done.
Right.
I think all the players were at the press conference today that gave a standing ovation, and I thought that said a lot. But you never know. You never know about stuff like that. These kids deserve to get a chance to go play somewhere else if their coach is gone, and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But it does make me a little nervous because I guess we'll find out. The good thing is workout start tomorrow, so he'll get a chance to see these guys starting out tomorrow. Get to see the individual workout, so that'll be good. So he get a chance to see them early. But hopefully he makes all the right moves. It sounds like he's bringing his entire coaching staff with him, which I think speaks volumes about his coaching staff. That they want to come with and travel with him like that. And I heard through the grapevine he's looking to try to bring one more guy in that was a big recruiter that worked with him at LSU, and he's Oklahoma State's big recruiter.
That would be
a good move.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's got some pretty big time talent. I don't think the coach very well, but they got big time talent. So, I didn't mean to take up the time, but I thought I'd just drop a little knowledge on you before I'm gone. So y'all take care.
That's bigger. Bye. Speaking of transfers, Alden Hill, running back for University of Tennessee football team, has decided to transfer. He didn't say where, but he can see the writing on the wall with Jalen Hurd and the guys ahead of him. I think he sees that he's not going to fit in. He's going to look for a home elsewhere. But he was very classy in the way that he did it. He had no ugly words or anything like that. He just realizes, and I think that's important. It's important for somebody to understand. Every man needs to know his limitations. And if you know that you're not going to be able to compete with these guys, go somewhere where you can.
And I'll tell you something else too. I think there'll be some quarterbacks to leave as well before.
I agree. We've got too many quarterbacks, and right now though, it's just tough to figure out who's going to be that guy.
And I really like that Ronnie Ferguson. He's only a freshman. He's a redshirt freshman this year. He was a freshman last year, of course. He had a fracture, so he redshirted. But man, I think he's the future. I know. I've said that last year.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, I liked everything about him so far. But in the orange and white game, Dobbs made an awful strong statement.
Right.
I mean, he's really put on the weight and done everything necessary, and not only threw the ball great, but ran the balls as well.
Well, to give you a little bit more information about the Donnie Tyndall, in Southern Mississippi, the 2 years that he was at Southern Miss, he was 27-10 his first season, 29-7 his second season, and 29-7 he did not get picked to go to the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
29-7, 13-3 conference record, 12-4 conference record the year prior. Went to the NIT both years. Maybe that's the reason. He went to the NCAA tournament twice with Morehead State, none with Southern Mississippi. At 29-7, he never had a 29-7 record with Morehead State, but yet he made it to the NCAA tournament with a 25-10 and a 20-16 record.
Wow. We know people talked about Conzo being, and I want to preface this by saying I really believe that Conzo Martin's a good man, and I think that we lost lost a guy that had a lot of character. I just don't care for his style of basketball, that's all.
Right.
But people talked about this hire being not the big splash hire, and that they basically got the same thing that they got with, when we hired Conzo Martin. Go back and look at their history, their resume, their portfolio. Big difference. This guy's got NCAA, as a head coach, has taken to the NCAA tournament as well as an IT tournament. Conzo Martin hadn't done that.
Exactly.
There's a big difference. This guy's he's maybe not the home run that we were hoping with Michael White, but I think he's at the very least a ground rule double.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works out.
That's pretty good. Well, folks, an hour has come and gone. We certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to join us here on AM 1450. Don't forget, sometime in May, the middle part of May, 100.9. WRAF will be at 100.9 on the FM side in stereo. And for our executive producer, Honey Bee, my name is Les Martin.
I'm Brent Allen. God bless and go Cougars.
WRAF Sports Network, we'll see you Thursday night.
Hello folks, this is Robert again from your Sears Hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed, or having a backache, or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears Hometown store. So come on down to your Sears Hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, Rick Joe Fortnite, the world's famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, fun with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Obama met with relatives of people lost in the Oso landslide. He also was here to talk to first responders. He told people from the town and from the fire department and others that the federal government will be here as long as it takes.
Mr. Obama took an aerial tour in the presidential helicopter Marine One and met with victims' families at a community chapel. He stopped on his way to the Asia-Pacific region, first stop Japan. The Supreme Court, in a 6-2 decision, has upheld a measure approved by voters in Michigan that bans the use of affirmative action at state colleges and universities and in the awarding of state contracts. Scott Simpson of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights is disappointed.
Today's decision has made it harder for minority students across the country to pursue the American dream.
The High Court said it wasn't ruling on affirmative action, but rather on the right of voters to make decisions on government policies. Correspondent Jan Crawford reports the two dissenting justices were Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor.
Justice Sotomayor took the unusual step of reading aloud parts of her opinion from the bench, and at times her dissent really sounded almost personal. She described examples of young people experiencing racial discrimination, which she says reinforces this feeling they have that I do not belong.
As Vice President Biden visited Ukraine today, showing U.S. support for the interim government, correspondent Kemi McCormick reports the Pentagon was sending troops to NATO allies Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia for military exercises.
These exercises are hoped to send a message to Russia that the U.S. will protect its allies.
It's more than symbology. I mean, it's the kind of work that we're going to be doing is real infantry training, and that's not insignificant.